Once upon a time there was a little boy called Silly Billy. Billy was on a mission. Grandad had given him a very important job: tighten the wobbly leg on the garden bench. Just a little twist, Grandad had said, handing over a screwdriver with the solemnity of a knighthood. Billy puffed out his chest. He was now Sir Fix-a-Lot. The bench, however, had other ideas. Billy crouched beside it, tongue poking out in concentration. He twisted. He turned. He grunted. The screwdriver slipped. Again. And again. And again. "Billy, love, maybe don't grip it like you're throttling a chicken," Mum called from the kitchen window, sipping tea and watching with amused affection. "I'm not throttling anything." Billy huffed. "I'm being precise." Sulky the cat lounged nearby, tail flicking with disdain. He'd seen this sort of drama before. Tools flying, tempers flaring, and someone inevitably blaming the cat. Billy tried again. The screwdriver spun in his hand and landed gently on the grass. "Right," he shouted. "This screw's got a screw loose." From behind the hedge, Jock the cockerel cackled. "You've lost your grip, Billy boy." Billy glared. "I haven't lost my grip. I've just temporarily misplaced it." He stomped inside, cheeks flushed, screwdriver dangling from his hand like a limp biscuit. Dad looked up from his newspaper, pencil behind his ear, tea towel over his shoulder. "Trouble in the tool department." Billy nodded solemnly. "The bench is being unreasonable." Dad chuckled. "Benches are like politicians. Wobbly, stubborn, and never where you want them." Billy blinked. "Is that why Grandad calls it the cabinet?" "Exactly," Dad winked. Billy sighed. "I just want to fix it properly." Dad crouched beside him. "Sometimes, son, it's not about how tight you grip. It's about knowing when to let go." Billy frowned. "But I'm 6. I'm not ready to let go of anything." "Fair point," Dad said, ruffling his hair. "Let's try again." Together. They returned to the bench. Billy held the screwdriver. Dad guided his hand. The screw turned. The leg held firm. Billy beamed. "I did it." "You did," Dad smiled. "With a little help." Sulky blinked slowly. Jock strutted in, pecked the bench leg, and declared, solid as a rock. Unlike Billy's grip, Billy grinned. "Oi. My grip's back. And it's gripping." Everyone laughed. Even Sulky, though it looked suspiciously like a sneeze. Billy had a plan. A big one. He was going to build a birdhouse. Not just any birdhouse, a deluxe, 2-story, semi-detached nest palace with a biscuit balcony and a seed cellar. Grandad had drawn the blueprint on the back of a cereal box. Dad had donated some leftover wood. Mum had donated her patience. Billy stood proudly in the shed, hammer in hand, nails lined up like tiny soldiers. "Right," he said. "Let's knock this out." Jock the cockerel strutted in, puffed up and proud. "I'll supervise," he declared. "I know pecking order." Billy placed the first nail. Raised the hammer. Missed. He muttered. "Just warming up." He tried again. The hammer bounced off the wood with a thud that sounded suspiciously like a polite cough. "Billy," Mum called from the garden, "are you hammering or hosting a percussion concert?" "I'm building." Billy shouted. "It's just rhythmically challenging." Sulky the cat peeked in, ears twitching. He'd heard this tune before. It usually ended with someone blaming the cat and a suspicious dent in the shed wall. Billy tried again. The nail wobbled. The hammer wobbled. Billy wobbled. Jock clucked. "You've lost your grip again." Billy frowned. "I haven't lost it. I'm just exploring alternative holding techniques." Dad wandered in, sipping tea. "Looks like you're hammering out a few issues." Billy sighed. "Why won't the nail go in?" Dad crouched beside him. Sometimes, son, it's not about force. It's about finesse. Billy blinked. Is that why Grandad says you're all thumbs? Exactly, Dad winked. Together, they lined up the nail. Billy held it steady. Dad guided the hammer. Tap. 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 The nail slid in like it belonged there. Billy beamed. I did it. You did, Dad smiled. With a little help. Jock strutted around the half-built birdhouse. Needs a disco ball. Sulky rolled his eyes and curled up on a pile of sawdust. Billy looked at the crooked walls, the slightly wonky roof, and the nail that had gone in sideways. It's perfect, he said. Dad nodded. It's got character. Mum peeked in. And it's still standing. That's a win. Billy grinned. I'm a builder now. Jock flapped his wings. You're a pecker-upper. Billy laughed. Oi. I've got a grip. And it's hammer-tastic. Everyone chuckled. Even Sulky, though it might have just been a sneeze. It started with socks. Mismatched, of course, one red, one blue, freshly laundered and suspiciously silky. Gran had tried a new washing powder. Smells like clouds, she said. And apparently makes everything glide like a greased goose. Billy tiptoed into the kitchen, socks squeaking faintly on the polished floor. Gran was mid-whisk, apron dusted with flour, spectacles fogged from the oven. Careful, love, she warned. It's slipperier than a politician's promise. Billy nodded solemnly. I'll tread carefully. He didn't. One step. Two. Then, whoosh! Billy slid across the tiles like a startled penguin, arms flailing, dignity trailing behind him. Billy! Mum gasped, catching a flying spoon midair. I'm fine. Billy shouted, spinning into a chair. Just testing the floor's personality. Sulky the cat leapt onto the counter, tail puffed. He'd seen this sort of nonsense before. It usually ended with someone blaming the cat and a suspicious smear on the fridge. Jock the cockerel strutted in, slipped, recovered with flair, and declared, this place needs hazard tape. Gran chuckled. It's just a bit of polish. I wanted it to shine. Dad entered, sniffed the air. Smells like lemon drizzle and mild panic. Billy stood, wobbling. I've lost my grip again. Mum handed him a tea towel. Try walking, not skating. Billy wrapped the towel around his feet. Now I've got traction. He shuffled forward, triumphant. Then tripped over Sulky's tail and landed in a pile of flour. Billy! Gran laughed. You're dusted and busted. Billy sat up, white-faced and wide-eyed. I look like a ghost with a sock problem. Jock pecked at the flour. You've gone full blancmange. Dad helped him up, brushing him off. Sometimes, son, life's slippery. You've just got to find your footing. Billy nodded. And avoid cats. Sulky blinked slowly. Gran handed Billy a biscuit. You've earned it. Billy munched happily. I'm not just silly. I'm slidey. Everyone laughed. Even Sulky, though it might have been a snort. It was Sunday. The sun was shining. The jam was everywhere. Gran had made a batch of strawberry jam so thick it could hold a spoon upright. Stickier than a toddler's promise, she said proudly, handing Billy a pot and a butter knife. Spread it gently, love. Not like you're painting a fence. Billy nodded. I'm a jam artist. Jock the cockerel strutted in, feathers fluffed. I challenge you, he declared, to a grip-off. Billy blinked. A what? A test of grip, grit, and glorious goo, Jock said. Who can spread jam without losing control? Billy narrowed his eyes. You're on. They faced off at the kitchen table. 2 slices of toast, 2 knives. 1 pot of jam. Mum raised an eyebrow. Dad whispered, this'll be sticky. Sulky the cat perched on the windowsill, tail twitching, He'd seen this sort of nonsense before. It usually ended with someone blaming the cat and a suspicious smear on the curtains. "Ready?" Gran asked. "Ready," Billy said. "Ready," Jock echoed. "Spread." Billy gripped his knife. Jock gripped his beak. The jam was thick. The toast was crumbly. The tension was palpable. Billy spread slowly, carefully. Jock pecked with precision. Mum sipped tea. Dad took notes. Gran held her breath. Then, splat, Jock's toast flipped. Jam flew. It landed squarely on Sulky's tail. Sulky froze. Then bolted. Disqualified. Billy shouted. "Jam interference." Jock flapped. "Foul play." Gran laughed. "Looks like Billy's got the upper hand." Billy beamed. "I've got grip. And jam. And toast." Dad nodded. "And a cat with a sticky tail." Sulky reappeared, tail puffed, glaring. Billy offered him a clean towel and a biscuit. "Sorry, mate." Sulky blinked slowly. Took the biscuit. Stalked off. Jock sighed. "You win this round, Billy boy." Billy grinned. "I always do." Eventually, Gran handed him a medal made of toast crust. Champion of the grip-off. Billy held it high. "I'm not just silly. I'm jam-tastic." Everyone laughed. Even Sulky, though it might have been a growl.